Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Luckiest Man in America. And this is a new thriller from director Samir Oliveros, and this film is co-storied by Maggie Briggs and Oliveros. And this film, picture it, 1984. We go back to the show Press Your Luck, or as I used to watch it on the Game Show Network, Whammy. And this is an unemployed ice cream truck driver steps onto the game show Press Your Luck, harboring a secret, the key to endless money. But his winning streak is threatened when the bewildered executives uncover his real motivations. And this film, I think right off the bat, Oliveros, along with some of his technical creators on the film, are really able to capture just the experience of being there in 84 on Press Your Luck. How the film feels grainy, and you have these boxed out elements of the shoot, and you have Pablo Lozano, who is the cinematographer. It is crisp. It feels like it's something right out of that era. The colors just pop on screen. The sound design of the show, the costuming, everything feels so pitch perfect. You just get pulled right in, and then there's choices that Oliveros does as a filmmaker that are interesting. Like, there's a final sequence in this film, and it shouldn't be more than just like somebody watching a television, but just how it's blocked and framed and how the characters engage with the scene. It's interesting, and I think Oliveros does a really fine job of bringing some personality filmically to this and making it really stand out and making this an engrossing experience. And from there, this is a lean 90 minutes. There's bits of mystery along the way, and it feels like a satisfying mystery as we figure out what's really going on. There's some really uncomfortable, suspenseful, intense moments. There's one particular moment where our main character, Michael Larson, has a confrontation with somebody over a phone live on this show, and the emotion, the tension, it's all there. And there's so many great moments throughout the show as well that really throughout this film that really stand out. And at the end of the day, this might not have the most depth, but it really does have something to say in terms of this is a man who has been through a lot, might not be the most perfect person, and is desperate. And how his dream here is slowly being crushed by this corporate entity, these executives that are trying to, clutch their purse and not give up the money to this man. And how he's really doing this, I didn't look into it. My wife already knew about this story because, of course, she did, and she knows all kinds of strange, weird stories throughout history, and this was one of them. But I feel like it's a really interesting and satisfying way. And at the core of this film really rides on Paul Walter Hauser. And his performance is so committed. There's layers of emotion. There's moments where you really feel for him. There's moments where you're questioning him. And there's particular characters like Shamir Anderson, who's like the casting guy, is so suspicious of him. And there's moments where we feel suspicious of him. Like, who is this guy? Who is this Michael Larson? Should we be concerned? But Hauser balances that and brings us empathy. He brings some mystery to this character. Love the hair, like the hairstyling and everything. It just looks perfect. And there's so many great other performances. Like, Anderson's very intense. Walton Goggins is so good as like this slimy, slick back kind of game show host. And, the Chuck Woolerys of the world, and, the Richard Dawsons, and like all of these game show hosts, and like Walton Goggins just channels that so well. Brian Garrity, who I don't think is probably going to get a whole lot of attention because he's not one of the big names here, but he is like the competing champion, and he has some really interesting moments and dynamics. You have like Patty Harrison popping up in there, Macy Williams in some smaller roles, Haley Bennett, who plays Larson's X. A lot of the performance through voice, and she really sells it, but there's one impactful scene that she gets to really shine in. I love David Strathairn, who's the main executive of the show. He's such a great actor, and he brings a lot to this role in terms of those emotions and stuff like that. And there's even this one offshoot sequence where Larson winds up on this other show, and it just hosted by Johnny Knoxville, and he commits so well to this talk show host persona that he's channeling, and it just works so well. This film, like I said, it is lean, it's 90 minutes, it moves well, has great pacing, it's technically really well put together. Oliveros really captures this period. This cast is just so good. It might not have the most depth, it might not be the most complex movie, but this just really clicks in so many different ways that you can't help but enjoy this 90-minute ride that we go on with Paul Walter Hauser here and Mr. Michael Larson. But those are my thoughts on The Luckiest Man in America. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.